And now for your assignment. I went over this in class, but I had made some changes, so my first or my morning classes should pay special attention to this. So, in writing in your assignment, I want you to address four questions in your life in the context of the 80/20 principle that I went over in the previous slideshow. Two of those questions will be ones that I gave you related to your growth in math class, and two will be your choice. It just has to pertain to your life. So for each question, you'll have to identify the 20% of causes that are leading to 80% of the effects. And then you'll propose action you can take to improve the situation. For example, how could you spend more time on the 20% that helps or get rid of some of the 80% that doesn't contribute as much? The actual percentages aren't that important here. It's just the concept that a little bit of your effort is contributing to most of your results, or a little bit of the time spent on something is contributing to most of the results of that. So for the first two questions, what the first one is, what 20% of activities account for 80% of your learning in math class? Or outside of class, if that's when you do most of your learning. So examples would include independent work in class, teacher giving whole class instruction, group work, Khan Academy, etc. What would help you to spend more time doing this task or tasks that bring you the most benefit? So for instance, if you really hands-on activities are kind of your thing, then I want to know that. And I do want to know about your past math class experiences. So things that maybe we haven't done yet in our class that you have done in other math classes, feel free to write about that. And, just say, it would really help if we could spend more time doing this kind of thing in class. I do want to know that. So second question, what 20% of math skills that if you mastered them would account for 80% of your growth in learning math? So to say that a little differently, what are the specific skills that hold you back the most in math? So let's say, for instance, you notice that, we're working on the distributive property and combining like terms, and you're constantly having trouble with getting the pluses and minuses right. And so then really it's operations with integers that is something that is really holding you back. Or, maybe it is kind of time management. Maybe you've taken the ACT already or you're preparing to, and what's giving you a lot of difficulty is the quickness with which you can do math questions. And so, you do get the concepts, but the efficiency is difficult for you. So that's the kind of things that I want you to be writing about. If you are unsure about the answer to these questions, this is why I've given you 2 weeks to do it. I want you to pay attention during class over the next week and really try to take note of what is holding you back the most and what is benefiting you the most. And if you have any different idea for a question that does relate to math and you'd like to substitute that for one of my questions, that's no problem at all. And I just would ask that you get approval from me first. So for the second two questions, you can make up your own, or you can just choose from one of the following. These are just some examples I found on the internet. So for instance, what are the 20% of people you're close to that make you the happiest? And you can always flip it around the other way. What are the 20% of people that cause you 80% of your stress and aggravation? Or what are the 80, even the other way around, what are the 80% of people that you spend your time with that only bring you 20% of your happiness? And so how can you magnify that part that does make you happy, and how can you lessen the part that, brings you stress? So once you choose a question and answer it, you again will have to elaborate on how you'll focus differently to get more of your desired result. What can you do about it? So format and style. Your assignment can be handwritten or typed, so this is something that I did change, so take note here. Please number your questions and write the question first. Then your answer should be in the form of a paragraph. And so a paragraph is several sentences put together, so 4 sentences minimum for each one. And do put your name, the date, and the title of the assignment at the top of the page. The title of the assignment can just be 80/20 principle essay, or no, it's not even an essay anymore, 80/20 principle assignment. So, and then you would be graded mostly for content and thoughtfulness. So I do want you to put some thought and some time into this. It's 10 points for each question. So this is a 40-point assignment now. And So you could better make them good. But excessive grammar mistakes or illegible handwriting would count against you. That is a typo there with will count against you. Please do not add any fluff. Make every sentence count. So I value my time too, and I want you to also show respect for my time by making your sentences really meaningful.